What if the biggest global breakthrough of 2025 was already unfolding before our eyes, yet the world still hasn't grasped just how far it will go? What if Kim Taehyung of BTS wasn't simply making a comeback, but rewriting the very blueprint of global superstardom? Before diving into this story, ask yourself one thing. Are you ready to witness a chapter that could redefine the meaning of influence? If you are, then stay with this report until the final word. And don't forget to engage, comment your thoughts. Tap the like button if your heart races while reading this. And subscribe so you won't miss what happens next. Because the narrative you are about to enter isn't just news. It is a turning point. Kim Taehyung's name has traveled the world long before 2025. Carried on the winds of music, fashion, film, and an unmistakable aura that only he possesses. But something feels different this year, sharper, louder, almost electric. Observers at the start of 2025 asked a simple question. Could his global influence soar even higher after completing mandatory military service? Many expected a steady rise, a warm welcome, maybe a handful of successful projects. Yet, what has actually unfolded is not steady at all, it is explosive. And the deeper this year progresses, the more undeniable one truth becomes. Taehyung is in the middle of one of the most remarkable global ascents the entertainment world has seen in a decade. It began as a whisper, a hint, a quiet anticipation among fans that once he returned to the public eye, he would bring something new, something matured, something sharpened by time and distance. What no one predicted was the intensity of the public reaction. Within weeks of resurfacing, headlines around the world began tracking him closely, not merely as a celebrity, but as an emerging cultural force, whose movements shape markets, trends, and emotional conversations among millions. 2025's turning point came not from a single event, but from the accumulation of moments that pushed his global prestige into orbit. The first shock arrived when analysts released quarterly cultural impact statistics that revealed Taehyung's name among the top 3 most influential entertainment figures globally. Despite having spent a significant portion of the previous year away from the spotlight, it was a result that baffled reporters, stunned industry experts, and even surprised longtime fans who knew his power but had never seen it measured so clearly. The question spread like wildfire. How could someone achieve this level of dominance without promoting, performing, or even appearing on international stages? The answer, though simple, carried weight. Taehyung's impact had matured far beyond the boundaries of traditional visibility. He had become a phenomenon not tied to constant presence, but to profound connection. Soon after, global brand directors began revealing behind the scenes stories that hinted at Taehyung's extraordinary influence. One executive admitted that a single photo of him wearing an understated brown coat caused a spike in international searches, selling out similar designs across multiple regions in under 12 hours. Another revealed that an unreleased fragrance inspired by him triggered historic pre-order interest before the campaign even launched. These anecdotes, surprising on their own, accumulated into a pattern. Taehyung's influence had transitioned from powerful to seismic. The emotional heart of this story deepened when he stepped back onto a public stage for the first time since 2023. The moment was quiet at first. The lights dimmed, the room hushed, fans held their breath. And then he appeared. The world watched as Taehyung, known for his calm charisma, fought back tears. There was something raw in his expression, something honest and vulnerable. A moment that felt less like a performance, and more like a reunion between a global star and the millions who had waited for him. Social platforms exploded, but more importantly, something shifted in the global narrative. Reporters no longer positioned him as a returning idol, but as a maturing artist, entering a new creative era with deeper depth and emotional resonance. These live moments opened the floodgates for what happened next. International magazines began crafting extensive features about his global allure, exploring everything from his cultural significance to his artistic evolution. One headline asked a question that quickly went viral. Is Kim Taehyung the most compelling global figure of the 2020s? Another publication called him the perfect storm of artistry, elegance, and unpredictability. Even non-entertainment outlets began referencing him in conversations about generational icons. Fashion, always one of Taehyung's strongest territories, became another battleground he dominated effortlessly. His 2025 public appearances triggered immediate global trends. Photographers who captured candid shots of him reported that their images broke internal server limits. Due to the volume of traffic, high-end houses whispered to journalists that his effect on their visibility rivaled major runway events. One European-style critic wrote that Taehyung walks with the gravity of someone aware of his influence, yet humble enough to let the clothes breathe around him. That line ignited a wave of discussion, with viewers analysing every detail of his styling, demeanour, and presence. But perhaps the most surprising twist of 2025 came from the artistic world. While many expected Taehyung to return primarily through music, he instead began dropping layered hints about larger, creative projects, filmic concepts, visual storytelling ideas, and collaborative art that blurred the line between genre and expression. Clips he shared, often short and cryptic, created a sense of mystery that drew fans and curious onlookers into an unfolding puzzle. It was the kind of intrigue that triggers global attention not through noise, but through elegance. This cryptic approach raised questions everywhere. What was he building behind the scenes? Why was he intentionally withholding details? What kind of release demands this level of secrecy and anticipation? Each question added fuel to the growing fire of speculation, raising stakes each week as the year continued. At one point, a 10-second video of him in a dimly lit studio became the #1 trending topic in 5 countries within hours. When reporters asked insiders about the project, they answered with phrases like unexpected, transformative, and a new chapter for him as a storyteller. The mystery grew larger by the day. Music analysts, reviewing Taehyung's previous records, predicted that his return would reshape the global charts. What none of them anticipated was the emotional depth audiences would attach to the idea of hearing his voice again. The longing was not merely for sound, but for the warmth, vulnerability, and poetic sensitivity that define his artistry. Streams of his older songs surged dramatically in February and March 2025, with one platform reporting an unprecedented 340% global spike. It was as if the world was collectively revisiting every note, preparing themselves emotionally for what he would share next. Several entertainment markets in Asia, Europe, and the Americas released impact projections showing that Taehyung could become the most streamed Korean solo artist of the year even before releasing new music. Think about the magnitude of that statement. A year where a person can dominate charts on anticipation alone, without dropping a single track. It is unheard of, and yet somehow completely believable when tied to Taehyung's name. Meanwhile, interviews with industry professionals revealed that his influence is not just widespread, but unusually balanced. He moves effortlessly across demographics that rarely overlap: fashion elites, young audiences, art communities, older listeners, industry veterans, independent filmmakers, and even professionals in fields unrelated to entertainment. The reason is simple: Taehyung's appeal is not built on a single dimension of talent. It comes from presence, depth, aesthetics, warmth, authenticity, and an unpredictable artistic mind. In a global culture oversaturated with curated perfection, his sincerity cuts through the noise. The emotional climax of this narrative came when one reporter described seeing Taehyung backstage recently. Moments before entering a major event, he stood still, breathing slowly, quietly grounding himself. A staff member said softly, "Are you ready?" He answered with a calm smile that carried confidence, but also humility. It was the kind of moment that reveals the real nature of a superstar. Not the polished public image, but the human heart guiding it. When he stepped onto the stage minutes later, the energy in the room shifted. It wasn't loud, it wasn't flashy, it was commanding, and people felt it instantly. Now, as 2025 unfolds further, one question echoes through global media: how high can he go? No one can say for certain. but the signs point toward a year that will rewrite multiple records, disrupt conventional entertainment landscapes, and solidify Taehyung's position not only as a star but as a cultural architect. And so the world continues to watch him not casually, not occasionally, but with the collective anticipation of witnessing history. Each appearance feels like the start of something new. Each hint feels like the promise of a revelation. Each silence feels like the inhale before a global exhale. The final, lingering question is the same one whispered at the beginning of this report. What if this isn't just a rise, but the rise? What if 2025 becomes the year Kim Taehyung doesn't just achieve global prestige, but transcends it? The answer is unfolding with every passing day. And if you want to follow it closely, stay connected, share your thoughts below, hit that like button if this story pulled you in, and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter. Because the story of Kim Taehyung's soaring global achievements in 2025 is far from over. If anything, it has only just begun.